this may be the hottest hot product we've ever had. So listen up. All right.
It's better than the Fleshlight?
Dueling decades.
All right. So I pick up the first point. I take control of the board. I get to select our next category. You know what, guys? Let's go over to the hot products round. All right. So for my hot product, we're going to go to the pages of the Daily News out of New York, New York, May 6, 1984. Now, on this, there is a 3/4 full page advertisement for Magic Video. They're open 7 days a week. They're on Forest Hills on Queens Boulevard and Whitestone on 14th Avenue. And if you read through the ad, the first thing that grabs you is the giant photograph, almost taking up half the page, of Sho Khashoggi from Revenge of the Ninja. It's just him on there, and the text says, the Ultimate Video Club costs just $69. Says 3-year membership, $69. Says you can rent movies for half price. That's $2.50. The Magic Movie Club membership entitles you to rent any film or tape in our extensive library for just $2.50. Now, that's half the normal price. It's millions of dollars worth of prime entertainment for just pennies, the ad claims. Or you can rent for less than half the price for $1.50. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays, rental price drops to $1.50. Or even less than $1. Magic Movie Club members can keep the tape for an extra night for just $1. And it goes on to list some of the other features you get for the $69. Free reservations, discounts on video equipment, no deposits necessary. And then it says, they're here. Hundreds of Hollywood's greatest movies for purchase or rental. Put Revenge of the Ninja in your home library today. So Magic Video opens 7 days a week, coinciding with the release of Revenge of the Ninja on VHS in the probably like the first week of May. I looked at a few different articles, and the date varied depending on what part of the country it was. Some had it for a new release at the end of May. Some articles had it for marked as a new release at the beginning of May. Either way, it was all in 1984. That was my hot product, is the release of Revenge of the Ninja on VHS. You wanted to add that to your library. Coincided with the Ultimate Video Club. Only $69? No, nothing hotter than that.
Good Lord. Like, I feel like I had this conversation with Mike the other day. Mike, do you remember we were talking about this in the elevator? I wish I grew up, or I was born maybe like 10, 15 years earlier, so I could have owned my own like mom pop video rental store and have that heyday of like the mid 80s to, you know, the late 80s before the big box stores like Blockbuster took over, because it was amazing. Those guys were making money hand over fist. There were rental stores in 7-Eleven. There was rental stores everywhere, and you could pick all this awesome shit, and you can make cool stuff like that. You can have like a membership club. You can have Tuesday action nights or whatever. It was like a dream job. I just grew up in the wrong time. Like, thanks, mom and dad.
Wow.
Streaming.
All right, Mike Ranger, what did you bring for the hot products round?
Well, Mark, let me tell you, because in 1986, Ocean Software Limited released Cobra, the video game, on the Commodore 64 and the ZX Spectrum in the UK. I don't have a specific release date. However, I found an article in The Guardian. I found an article in The Guardian, a UK paper, with a list of award winners for 1986. It announced it's an annual computer game bash. And Cobra won for Best Platform Game. The article says that this is a rare example of a good game derived from a film license. These have a habit of turning out to be over-promoted rubbish, which is pretty funny because even in 1986, they were making shit video games based off of movies. It's all a process of leaping up and down platforms, attempting to eradicate the muggers and rapists swarming in the streets. Although a simple design, it is elevated by a good by good music, graphics, and a sense of humor rarely seen in computer games. I need to play this.
It's a kid's game.
I need to play
Me
this.
too.
And what's even more interesting is that this is going on in the UK, where, you know, most of the video games released in Europe that were like Contra or something like that were given alternate names. Things were like kind of redone to be less violent. So it's kind of interesting that this game has muggers and rapists. I want to play it.
For which one specifically do you want to play it for? The muggers or the rapists?
Oh, definitely not the muggers. Those guys are just a couple guys trying to feed their family. The other guys are go-getters.
All right, Mancrush, what did you bring for the hot products round?
I knew I'd be afraid to ask that question.
I managed to get all that done without actually saying the word, though.
You never said it, which is great. All right, so
Isn't that
thank-
incredible?
Yeah, because YouTube would just completely shut.
Yeah, I'm
All
talented.
right, which we can't afford at this point. September 20th of 1982. Since like I'm in such early stages of Golan and Globus at Canon, I had to go outside the box on this one. Without a doubt, though, this is the first time this particular product was hot on this show. Matter of fact, this may be the hottest hot product we've ever had. So,
Whoa.
Listen up. All right.
It's better than the fleshlight.
It's equal. It's equal. You can use them equally.
Oh, okay.
All right. Some people did. All right. So back in Mike already knows what my pick is. So he's playing coy right now. So back in 1979, there was this Dudley Moore movie that came out. It was named 10. And this wasn't a canon movie, not a Golan Globus joint, but it did super well at the box office. And if you've never seen it, I recommend checking it out. I watched it the other night. Dudley Moore is hilarious, and it's a great movie. Basically, it's about a middle-aged guy. He becomes infatuated with a woman that he sees getting married, and he basically stalks her all the way back to Mexico on her honeymoon. A lot happens in between. His neighbor makes porn. There's swinger parties. Dudley saves Sam Jones. That Sam Jones, Flash, that one, who plays the husband of the stalkie. And then he ends up spending time with this woman that he's obsessing over. And one of the most memorable scenes of this movie, it begins when Bo Derek asks Dudley Moore, have you ever done it to Ravel? And of course, she means the classical piece by Ravel, Bolero. And the greatest line ever, she follows that line up with saying, my uncle turned me on to it. And he's like, what? Well, anyhow, so like Uncle Fred, he told her that Bolero is the most descriptive sex music ever written. And with that, she walks into the bedroom, she disrobes. You can actually find that part on YouTube if you don't want to watch the whole movie, but go watch the whole movie. It's good. I won't spoil it. It's a good movie. However, this whole scene in particular, and the beach scene with the braids and everything, this catapults Bo Derek to superstardom, right? She becomes like the pinup goddess of the late 70s and early 80s in the process. So right around this time in 1982, Bo Derek and her husband, John Derek, they become like a package deal. All right. They recently part ways with Universal Studios. They were, and this was over a movie that they were planning called Eve and That Damned Apple, which never got made, but Universal was like, what the fuck is this? Get out of here. But you know, it's surprising because it's coming off of the amazing hit that they did together, Tarzan the Ape Man, which it's shocking that Universal had dumped them after that. That said, like Bo Derek was still highly sought after at the time. And, you know, as the saying goes, one man's trash is Canon's treasure. You know what I mean? So I give you this little news excerpt from September 20th of 1982. And it says, Bo Derek signs. Bo Derek, who surged to stardom with her sexual exploits to Ravel's Bolero in the hit movie 10, will star this year in Bolero. This is being billed as a $20 million sensuous adventure for Golan Globus's Canon Films. The blonde sex symbol will be directed by her husband, John Derek. So this dude's just watching her bang random dudes. And there's rumors out there at the last scene they actually had sex. Fucking weird. But anyhow. And then it goes on to say that the last movie they did together was Tarzan the Ape Man. Fucking classic. And so I give you the hottest product to be bought up in 1982, Bo Derek. I mean, here's the thing. Bolero, it didn't come out till 1984. And matter of fact, it flopped so badly that MGM would ultimately drop Canon from their distribution arm. But hey, she's hot. She's the hottest product we've ever had on the show. Hotter than the Fleshlight. I give you that.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So we're doing people as products now.
Hey,
Nice.
it's Canon, bro.
Hey, it's absolutely
All rules
nothing
out
hotter
the
than Bo
window.
Derek.
She's still hot. I saw a picture of her from when I was doing the research. She actually still looks good, and she's got to be like 70. Like somebody, I don't know. I gotta look it up exactly, but she's got to be up there. And maybe she had plastic surgery, but she looks great.
All right, let's throw it over to Austin Trunick for the ruling on the hot products round.
Well, Mark, yours gives me very fond memories of video stores. That's where my love of Canon, that's where my love of movies started. Taking trips every week with my dad or mom to not just the video store, but you guys are talking about it, but we had the grocery store. You could rent them on a little spinner rack.
Yep.
There was a gas station that also sold fishing baits, but they also had a video rack in the back that you could rent movies. And I used to rent stuff there with my mother and like in the middle of the week. And yeah, I really miss video stores. That's one of the weirdest things is I have very vague memories of very important things from my childhood. I can't tell you what my school's classrooms or anything looked like, what family members' houses looked like, but I could draw you a very detailed map of probably my 3 favorite video stores as a kid with writing down where each of the sections were, each genre section. And
it's amazing, dude. It was a cultural event for us. It was like that before watching the movie, just going, we've talked about this in the show before, but going to the video store was like going to a club. It was like, all right, I'm going to this, maybe you weren't partying there, but you were getting to see the lay of the land, seeing what new stuff they had in stock, what old stuff, or like how excited you would be if you went there and a movie that you actually wanted was in stock, or if you were that guy that went up to the counter and was like, hey, did anybody return anything? And it was like, oh yeah, I got this copy of Cobra. Be like, what the yeah, I'll take that. Oh, it's not rewound. I don't give a shit, just give it to me.
Yeah, it was a destination.
Yeah, it
was somewhere you had to go. Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, I turn on Netflix. There's no skin in the game anymore. Like that's what made it so good.
It's not picking a movie is no longer a social activity.
Nope.
And, talking about films and discussing them and getting recommendations from other people, that's what having a love for movies is all about.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of lose that now. So,
yep.
Yeah.
17th century French movie by Canon. This has a lot of tits in it, right? Yes.
Yeah. So I love Mark's pick, but I'm not going with that one. Mike, I got to check out this Cobra game. This sounds pretty cool. I haven't played that. I have played the Death Wish 3 game, which they released on computers and must have been 85 or 86. And in the game, you can play it in browsers now. They have it all set up on emulation. So you just Google it and find it. But you can actually kill as many gang members and muggers in the game as Charles Bronson kills on screen and at the end of Death Wish 3. It's just the craziest body count.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's not a very good game, but it's fun to try out for a while. But I'll have to look up the Cobra game and see if they've done the same thing. You can play it online nowadays. But I have to go with Mancrush here. The Bo Derek is someone who just fascinates me in her career, especially with her husband John Derek, who is a much older man, sort of just a Bengali type guy who took her at a very young age as a teenager and sort of sculpted her into this actress. 10, she blew up after 10, and they actually named Bolero after the song in 10, as you mentioned,
and her name too, right?
Yeah. In a lot of the old posters I have, it's Bo, and then a picture of her in the middle. On the other side, it's Laro, just to really capitalize on her. That's probably the last time article about Cannon and Bo Derek that ran in print was positive, because they got in a very big and nasty fights in all of the trade papers after that.
Yeah,
about
a lot of them in 1984. A lot of them.
They are from both sides just ripping each other, and it's Bolero is probably one of my least favorite movies in the first volume of the Canon Film Guide to actually watch, even though you have to watch it once if you haven't, because it's crazy. It's Bo Derek and her best friend and her sort of babysitter, George Kennedy, Oscar winner George Kennedy.
Hey, listen, he's great in every disaster film, so they had to put him in this. So it fits.
Yes, they go on this adventure around the world to help her find somebody to take her virginity, which is crazy. That's the concept that they took to Canon, and Canon's how much money do you need? And they didn't make another film till 1989, I believe it was, called Ghosts Can't Do It. It was the last film that Bo Derek and John Derek made together. And that's also a very weirdly fascinating movie. It's Bo Derek plays a young woman who's married to a much older man. He dies, and the whole plot of the film is her going around and trying to find the perfect body, because he comes back as a ghost. And the only thing, their relationship is still great, but ghosts can't do it, as the movie title says. So he has to possess these men so they can have sex with her, and it's sort of the weird jealousy that's happening because he's the ghost possessing all these very handsome actors as they bang his wife.
For real.
And our last president was he got his Razzie Award for that movie. He plays one of Bo Derek's husband's business rivals. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's worth.
I've never
worth
seen that.
Out.
Wait, what is it called again?
It's called Ghosts. Ghosts Can't Do It.
I'm totally gonna look that up.
Yeah, it's if you're into the Bo Derek filmography, that's a bizarre one that needs to be seen. But I have to go with that. The product of Bo Derek.
Yeah, I mean, not the movie Bolero and it's just signing, because you know how Canon was, and they wanted to add all these people to their kibbutz. They're this committee that they had of all these different actors, like Charles Bronson and everybody else that they had, that they would just keep for movie after movie. So she was supposed to be part of this, and it just obviously, like you said, it just didn't work out. But that movie is crazy. I watched it for the first time the other night, and I told Mike I didn't even know what I was in for. And it's actually, it took me a while to find it. It's actually on YouTube, and somebody posted it like not that long ago. So it might still be up there if you really want to see it.
Can we watch it with the sound off?
Of course.
Okay.
It's actually probably more enjoyable if you watch it with the sound off.
There you go.
Actually, no, because some of the dialogue is so bad, it's funny. Like when she's talking to, because George Kennedy's a real actor. So like when she's talking to George Kennedy, he's really acting, and it's just bogus anything coming out of her mouth. You're like, I don't buy it. Like, she's a virgin. How old was she at the time? Like mid-20s? Like, okay, I don't buy this at all. But yeah, like Austin said, if you've never seen it, it's worth watching just for the goofs. But just be prepared to be shocked, because it is pretty shocking.